Hi everyone, welcome to Weather with J7409. Glad you came over to check it with me today. Man, oh man, we've got so much going on. I'm going to make two videos. This video now is going to be about severe weather with the possibility of severe thunderstorms and maybe the possibility of tornadoes. Now, I'll make a separate video about all of the snow and this bad weather that's to the north. But down south this morning now, I want to remind everyone this map is going to change frequently throughout today. But as of right now, this morning, around 8 a.m., this is what it's looking like. Everything in the pink is severe thunderstorm warnings. We have a few little patches of orange in Texas and Oklahoma. This is severe thunderstorm warnings. And the brown is high wind warnings. Okay, that's what it's looking like. Now, some of the places down in Texas have already had severe thunderstorms, and some of these storms produce 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. And in Oklahoma, we've had some that's produced 60-mile-per-hour winds and nickel-size hail. So it's going to keep on moving across before it ever dies out, folks. And it's looking like right now, Mississippi, maybe right in this area here, might have a chance later this evening, say 6, 7 o'clock, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, something like that, of having some dangerous weather pop up, and I'll get to that in just a moment. But I wanted to show you this to let you see this weather is coming on across. Now, these severe thunderstorm watches and warnings right now for Oklahoma, Texas, part of Arkansas, yours should last, and Missouri till at least 11 or 12 lunchtime today. For Texas, yours should go out anywhere from 10 to 11 o'clock this morning. And you're stuck right in the middle here in Oklahoma. I'd say anywhere from 10 to 12 o'clock before your watches and warnings are over with. Now, this map is just showing supercells, okay? Supercells that may develop. Now, I am not saying anyone is going to have a tornado. Once again, I am not saying anyone is having a tornado. I am going to point out some of the areas that they may be possible. And this is not the energy in it. This is not anything at all except the supercells themselves that I'm going to show you right now. So this is early in the morning here, as you can see, and what we're going to do is move it on up some. This is like in Texas a 6 and a 7 and an 8. All of these areas are capable of producing very high winds, and you know, some of the downdrafts from these supercells are just as bad if they hit in certain places. Doesn't have to be a bad area, but sometimes the downdraft from these supercells, these winds can tear stuff up. So please make sure you got everything outside put away. And we're going to keep on moving across, and now we can see now later in the afternoon, this afternoon, over in this area here, we're moving up in Mississippi. We've got an 11 there. The streak just goes on across, starting to go into Alabama. But where that 11 was, let's see if we can find it again and click on it right quick. Possible tornado. Now, let me tell you about this. I'm not going to stretch out the whole map, change the differences or anything. It's possible. Now, what this is from the SARS, okay? The SARS. And what is SARS? SARS is a sounding analog retrieval system. And what it means is this in easy terms, folks. It's an algorithm that uses soundings from the parameters to find historical severe weather events. Then they compare those events that happened in the past with these supercells. If it has the same characteristics of what this supercell popping up may look like, then they give it a percentage of what it may be. Remember, I've told you I think weather's like history, it repeats itself. Well, it's not repeating itself exactly here, but they're using what they do know to compare with what it looks like now to give it a percentage. So this is a possible tornado type supercell. Okay, now it according to SARS, they had 23 loose matches. It gives it a 57% chance of turning into a weaker tornado, possibly an EF2. And significant hail is at 51%, and that could be some big hail up to 4 inches. Not saying that's what's going to happen. This is what looks like could possibly happen because it has happened in the past. And this, of course, I'll show you again the area. All of this area right here actually is high. And if it's just over a 1, it could produce a very severe thunderstorm with the possibility of forming into something. But this is like 11 right down here, moving up in this area, 10, 11 over in this area also. So let's click on here and see what it's looking like. Possible tornado. Possible tornado. And you hear me talk about, or you have in the past, has to have a crook in it. Well, this is called the storm slinky. And most of the time when there's any chance of a tornado to evolve and make up, in the supercells at some point there is this turn I call the hook. It's called the storm slinky that is in the supercells. Now this one has a 50% chance of turning, a 53% chance from past SARS soundings. And in the beginning it could be a significant storm. Of course it would die down some, and it could have some 4-inch hail in it also. There's a 58% significant percent for that. And we'll move it on up, and we see this really supercell activity starts to die down some. We still have some in Mississippi though. So folks in Mississippi, I'd say from Mississippi, maybe Louisiana, and in portions of Missouri, for the most part Mississippi. Here's one. We'll do this one right here. This is later on in the evening. It's at a 6, and what is it looking like? Well, let's see right quick. Possible tornado. See, remember I told you, you don't go by the colors, you go by the numbers. Anything over, I'd say, they say a 1, I say a 3. Anything over that does have the possibility of turning into 1. Now, this slinky doesn't look quite as, it has the turn, it still has a chance to make up, but it's not as prevalent as the other one we looked at a while ago. You can see the height when it'll get up. You can see all of this right here. And this one, there's 32 loose matches from SARS. It has a 56% chance of maybe turning into a tornado. Starting out significant, then it weakens on down. No hail in this, just a big bad rainstorm if nothing else. And we'll click on through later here, and they start to die out. Thank goodness. You can see right now, by tomorrow you guys should be clear. That's what it's looking like according to this. Now, according to the National Weather Service, this is where the severe weather has a chance of developing. As you can see, I've got a map. I've made sure I've got the towns up there, the cities up there it may occur in. This is for all of the rain and severe weather possibilities. When it comes just to tornado possibilities, it's right in this area here. You can see very well, looking like from Mississippi all the way up to Missouri, as I had pointed out before in my soundings that I did. This looks like where if tornadoes will pop up, they will pop up. However, they could pop up anywhere in Arkansas, in Mississippi, maybe northwestern Alabama, of course, in Tennessee, and parts of Kentucky as well as lower Illinois. So we're going to keep our eyes on that. So far as the wind goes, going to be windy today. For example, like in Atoka, Tennessee, you're going to have kind of a breezy day. I'm not going to say the wind's going to be that bad, but probably between 10 a.m. this morning till 5 p.m. at least this afternoon. Your wind's going to be steady probably, or anywhere from 20 to 25, and your gusts are going to blow up to 35, maybe 40 miles per hour. So, yes, it's going to be windy. And the significant hail, what's the probabilities of that looking like? Well, everybody in the yellow, if you have any storms at all, that's what's going to happen. You do have that chance of having hail in it. As I mentioned earlier this morning, we've had quarter size and nickel size hail already down in Tennessee and also in parts of Oklahoma. Now, the severe weather itself for the most enhanced is in Clarksville, Tennessee, Jackson, Tennessee, Tupelo, Mississippi, Cape Gardenia, Missouri, and Florence, Alabama. And when we come to the slighter chance, that 5% chance, that's Memphis, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, Louisville, Kentucky, Shreveport, Louisiana, and Little Rock, Arkansas. And for a marginal in the green, that's for Dallas, Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, Arlington, Texas, St. Louis, Missouri, Plano, Texas. That's what's going on in those areas. I do want to point out something right quick before I do get off of this map right here. It's the farther east, more adequately moist, destabilizing warm air is going to happen. This is going to be a warm sector, and it's going to spread north to northeast in wake of the warm front, with surface dew points ranging from near 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Some of you might even see, who knows, you might even see some 70s today, And when this happens, what's going to happen? It's going to form maybe some cape. Now, this warm sector it will narrow and become more contaminated with northward extent from the mid-south across the mid-Mississippi and lower Ohio valleys, but it still should retain enough cape to support severe wind, hail, and tornado potential. Now, with the most intense cells there, from when this should happen should be from, like I said earlier, before I even looked at this map, from late afternoon into evening, and the activity will start to outpace the warm sector over the northern and eastern parts of the outlook area, while deep layer lift diminishes in the south with the ejection of the upper trough away from the region. Meanwhile, while all this is happening, we still got a diabatic surface cooling, which will reduce boundary layer instability gradually across the southern states, and it's going to continue moisture transport. And when this happens, the severe threat should decline. Okay, it should decline later this evening. But once again, we do have this chance going on of tornadoes happening. I just want to point all this out to you. This is all favorable weather with parameter space for significant tornadoes, though concerns over storm mode cast some uncertainty on the threat beyond levels that are currently depicted. So it's just like what SARS does. It might happen, it might not happen on that graph. It just shows you the areas that it is possible to happen. So I hope this has helped some of you out today with the severe weather. Please just do this. I'm not saying anybody's having a tornado today. I'm not saying you won't have a tornado. The air is a soup mix. What you need to do is watch your skies. If you see any developing strangeness that just happens and it looks like it could turn into a tornado or this or that, you need to watch it. You need to be prepared, and you need to make sure that you keep up with your local weather forecast. So I've tried to tell you folks, hopefully nobody will have a tornado today. I hope not. In the meantime, if you do, I'm trying to prepare you. So keep your eyes on the sky and everything around you. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. And also, please share this information if you have any friend or families that live in any of these areas that may not be aware of what's going on. Please, please send them this video, call them on the phone, whatever. Make sure that they are aware of what's going on. Thank you so much for your comments, your thumbs up, everything you do for me. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Peace, love, and kindness to all. Thanks for watching.